Good morning, you absolute sickos. If you're watching live with us, that is exactly what you are. You're a sicko, and I love you for it. Notre Dame 49-20 victory over the Stanford Cardinal. Mike Singer, Eric Hansen, and Robbie Toma live on the Blue and Gold YouTube channel to talk about that win for the Irish. We'll also talk about Jeremiah Love. We'll talk about the Heisman, and we'll talk about a big day in college football. But I'll throw it over to Robbie first as I pop up the stats. Just general thoughts on that win for the Irish. Again, 49-20.
Yeah, I thought obviously off to a great start. It looked like we all knew what the mission was after that first drive. I think Jeremiah Love had 8 carries for 54 yards and a touchdown. Obviously, you want to see him walk away a little more healthy. I know that was a big scare for us, but sicko seems to be the word of the night, and just that fake punt was something that got our household real excited. So stoked the Irish got that final victory. I know the season started off rough with those first 2 losses, but this is what we called. We said we were going to go 10 in a row, and we did that. So absolute delighted.
Eric?
Yeah, it was. It had a weird feel to it because of the Love injury, because of the discussion of how deep the starters played in this game, and then Charlie Meyer getting a touchdown pass late, and people talking about style points. But I think Notre Dame did what it needed to do today to put itself in a strong position to be in the playoff field come Tuesday, and then we'll see what happens next weekend if they can carry that into the final.
Super chat from Lucian says, "How is Bama in the SEC championship game?" Makes 0 sense. I mean, they lost 2 games, but one of them was out of conference to Florida State, so tiebreaker. That's how. I appreciate the 2. We'll definitely talk about CFP and everything, but I mean, fine game for Carr. I mean, Carr played well. Aeneas Williams, I think, was the star of the game. Faison had that beautiful 54-yard reception downfield and was rewarded with the 6-yard touchdown. Defensively, look, I know Stanford scored a couple of touchdowns in the 4th quarter, but if the committee's sitting here thinking, well, let's dock Notre Dame because of that, then they're a bunch of morons. If Eric earlier in the chat was like, oh man, worried about the defense. Good God, guys. Like, that was the most, I'm sure everyone on that field just wanted to get the hell out of there. I'm not really having any thoughts about the defense performance in this game. I'm not going to lie. That was the most boring football game I've ever seen. I just like the November slot. And guys, I'm freaking tired. It's been a long day. So I'm going to be very brutally honest. And my filter has been removed for this discussion. I'm so bored with this November schedule. When you don't have USC to end the season, it's like, it's just it's awful. Robbie, you've been through that. What was it like?
I think the game was extremely boring.
Okay.
But no, I think the standard has the bar's been risen for our program, and that's definitely a testament to what Coach Free's done.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean the game was brutal, but hey, we did what we had to do. There was an interview, I don't know when it was, but Aeneas Williams earlier this week had mentioned something about being there and not getting as many reps, but the culture at Notre Dame is changed where future first rounders are taking a step back for others, and to see Aeneas go out there and get his today was very fun to watch. Though,
Eric,
I was impressed with Aeneas Williams, Jadarian Price. I mean, there were a lot of guys. Leonard Moore, my God, why do they keep throwing at him? 3 pass breakups and an interception. Again, I kind of feel the way you do, Mike, not about the whole November schedule, but about tonight's game. It was a weird game to watch.
Well,
it just felt just odd.
It was the same thing as Syracuse. It's like, all right, we just saw this last week with Syracuse.
Right.
It's just like blow them out early. It's just like, let's just get to the finish line. Now, Stanford had some fight in them late. And we are going to touch on very shortly, Notre Dame playing a lot of starters pretty late in the contest.
Say the whole November schedule. I mean, Pittsburgh was in and out of the rankings. They got whooped today. And Navy will probably be in the top 25 on Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon when it comes out. Just a lot of the teams in the 20s lost, and Navy beat Memphis on the road.
Yeah. Kyle says, I think Miami will jump us, sadly. We're going to
Based on what? See, they have to jump over other teams as well. Probably the thing that went well for Notre Dame is BYU won, Vanderbilt won. I mean, other teams that are around Miami didn't just lay down and lose. So, I mean, it doesn't make sense for Miami, what they did against Pittsburgh today, to jump. What would be the justification for that? They still, when you look at the end of the season, again, I think you can make an argument for Miami, but at the end of the day, Notre Dame lost to 2 ranked teams. Miami lost to 2 unranked teams because SMU is not going to be ranked after losing to Cal. And they didn't win their conference. They're not even playing in their conference championship game.
Robbie, do you have any thoughts on this?
No, I think I was going to mention that SMU lost to Cal. That was obviously big, but yeah, I mean, Miami. I feel like we've talked about this to exhaustion. Miami exactly. Lost to two pretty bad teams, so I do not see them jumping us. I do. The only thing that, and I mentioned it last week or earlier this week, was the only game that really concerns me is BYU and Texas Tech right now.
Yeah, I agree. If BYU beats Texas Tech, then
and Alabama over Georgia, that's the doomsday scenario.
Then Notre Dame is
really
out.
Sticky.
Because unless BYU's to beat Texas Tech by 50 points, which is probably not going to happen, in Georgia, or Georgia beats Bama by 50, right? Like
Alabama beats Georgia,
right? Yeah. Like if you really don't get docked for losing in a conference championship game. We saw that last year, with SMU.
You will if you get blown out.
But
it's the loot. We're talking about teams that were on the, it's just, it doesn't seem possible given the rest of the resume, what those teams have on their resumes.
Yeah.
Texas Tech, I don't know how good the Big 12 is, but Texas Tech has been the dominant team all year in that conference.
Yeah. So you guys know me. I'm petty as hell. Like I just am. So I remember. I keep the receipts mentally. I don't remember the names. I just remember Killface was the anti-Chris Ash guy for every single show, and I throw that in his face after Ash was, has been a great DC. But like everyone coming here, oh Mike, you don't understand. Notre Dame is 1,000,000,000% a lock at 10-2, and we kept saying no, they're not. And here's your scenario: we are, BYU beats Texas Tech, and Alabama beats Georgia, and Notre Dame's probably out on, barring, something wild. The whole Miami thing, look, this is what I've been saying since the 12-team playoff started. If you're an 11-1 or an undefeated Notre Dame team, obviously you're in the field, you're getting first round bye, whatever. You're hosting at one loss, got it. But if you're a 10-2 Notre Dame team, you have to pray that the committee likes you. Speaking of
10-2, any team.
Yeah, any team. If you're 10-2, you can't complain if you get in. If you do get in, great. The committee are morons, says Killface. I mean, brother, committee has Notre Dame in the field right now. You better love those morons. If the committee had Miami in because they value that head-to-head win, you can't complain. You can't. We could look up these metrics and all this bullshit. They did win. So if the committee went that way, then they went that way. But to Eric's point, they put I think they've already drawn the line in the sand that they like Notre Dame over Miami.
Don't go by what you heard from that announcing team. They didn't even know who Charlie Meyer is until somebody told them during the commercial.
Yeah, Brock Osweiler was just talking to just fill time. He didn't know what the hell he was talking about on some of those things. But look, for the comment thinking, I think Miami's going to jump us. Eric says, based on what? I'm with that because listen, If they had Miami over Notre Dame again, you're a 2-loss Notre Dame team. They're a 2-loss team. They won. You can't really complain about it at that point. But the committees had Notre Dame over Miami comfortably, even at point, right? It was Notre Dame was 10 and they were 18. They're not going to flip it based on, well, Miami beat Pitt by 6 more points or 6 or 7 more points, whatever it was. Like, come on. It's just not going to happen. So I'm still not concerned about Miami. It's just the Doomsday scenario that I would have any concern about. So, Robbie, you're laughing?
No, I'm enjoying the 3 a.m. mic. I haven't seen you this candid in a while, but no, I think you're absolutely right in that we did not help ourselves at being 10-2, especially not being in a conference. And I enjoy not being in a conference. I'm a little more old school when it comes to that, but I do understand that there is a doomsday scenario. But I do think the College Football Playoff Committee has definitely decided that Notre Dame looks better than Miami.
Yeah. Bobby Flake, go ahead, Eric.
And has a better resume. Again, you have to look at everything in the resume. You can't just say, here's the part that proves my point. You have to look at everything. And that's what the committee does.
Yeah, I'm really getting tired of the national media right now. It's just bizarre. And how Twitter works now is such an algorithm that if you read, and I do read those posts, and Twitter like knows that you're reading that, it can tell where you're at on the page, and so it just keeps feeding me this shit, man. And I'm really tired of it. It's just like, why are we continuing the Notre Dame Miami thing when it's done? Like, the committee's already figured that out. Like, they've already told you. I mean, who the hell knows? They could change their mind last minute, and then we'll all be, left.
Now
puzzled,
they won't have a home game. They're going to go on the road, most likely. Yeah, because I don't think they can climb. I think they'll be the 9 or 10 seed, depending on how those conference games shake out. And it was good to be at 9. It gives you some wiggle room, even if somebody jumps them for some strange reason, which I don't think is going to happen.
Right.
If the 2 underdogs lose the conference championship games that we talked about, Notre Dame will be 9 or 10. They'll be 10 at the worst, and 10 wouldn't be the worst thing that happened to them based on the bracket, based on thinking that Ohio State would beat Indiana in the Big Ten and you'd avoid Ohio State early in the draw.
Bobby Flake, $10 super chat, says Notre Dame is deserving playoff teams no matter what. If we somehow end up out, it's a crime. See you in January, Ohio. Now, he posted this at 12:13 a.m., so I probably had already gone on this had probably been posted by the time I went on my 2-loss rant, but I completely disagree with this. If Notre Dame gets left out, I mean, it would be, if they jump Miami, right? If it's not the Doomsday scenario and Notre Dame still gets left out, it would be very weird, but it would not be a crime. 2-loss, look, there's several 2-loss teams. You have Notre Dame, Bama, BYU, Miami, Vandy. There's 5 for 2 spots. And then you can even throw in Texas. Who knows how the committee's going to feel about Texas? So that's a 3-loss team, but has really damn good wins. It's kind of just
and 2 bad losses.
And yeah, of course they do. But it's just like, how do you feel in committee? Like, this is it's like gymnastics. It's like, who's judging you, right? It's basically what it is.
It is like gymnastics or ice skating.
Yeah.
So Notre Dame needs to do a triple axel.
Mike O'Keefe says, who is likely the next opponent, Ole Miss or Oklahoma? Probably Oklahoma. I mean, if all kind of goes as planned.
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to climb after today. And I think Notre Dame would win that game. Oklahoma's really good defense and a really below average offense.
What games did you watch before Notre Dame, Robbie?
Yeah, no, I've watched the Oklahoma game. I mean, they did not look good at all. Their defense looks good though, but their offense just looks like a complete liability. And like I said, the word of the night was sickos, and they got no sickos on offense. It would seem. So if we do end up playing them in that would be an ideal matchup. Them and Tulane, right? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, Mateer is an
that-
interesting quarterback, but he doesn't have anything to go with him. He doesn't have an offensive line, and he turns the ball over too much.
Absolutely.
Folks, again, I don't know if I mentioned this, but please hit the thumbs up on this video. Subscribe, of course, to the Blue and Gold YouTube channel for more content. Turkey Leg Eric is coming on Sunday.
I'm
Notre Dame went
ready to
10-2.
rock. The turkey legs have been purchased, cooked. They're in the refrigerator. I have a backup in case something goes wrong with the starter. So, or in case I'm really hungry.
If you don't know what the heck we're talking about, you are just going to have to join us Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern time. We'll talk about the lore behind the turkey leg. 589 people. It is 2:24 in the morning Eastern time. That's up to 598. Wow. I'm shocked. You guys are the best. Please hit the thumbs up on this video. I'm going to go through some super chats. Billy says, thanks, Blue and Gold team. Thanks for keeping us company all year. 10-game win streak, mostly dominant wins. Proud of this team. I'm just trying to think about the schedule off the top of my head. The closest game in this streak was just the Southern Cal game, right? 10-point win. So
yeah.
Very, very comfortable wins. I mean, that was the only one that was tight, and then the Boston College game was very ugly. But yeah, Billy, you got it. Appreciate the $5 super chat. A-Page says, brother, you better love those morons. Yep. Quote from Singer. Put that on a t-shirt. Thank you for the 2. Tinneran says, well, we did what we could and controlled all we can. Game was fine. Kind of wish the defense let in one less touchdown in the second half. Guess we just wait and see. Yeah, completely agree. Tinneran, appreciate the 5. Another 5 from Bobby says, absolutely proud of this team. Notre Dame fan since 1991, and this is by far my favorite team. End of story. Eric, how much fun have you had following this team this year?
Amazing. This has been incredible fun, and it's been incredible doing it with the Blue and Gold team. But yeah, I mean, these last 2 years, I mean, you think about there have been some little peaks here and there, like 2012, and then some of the later Brian Kelly teams. But I mean, I've been in the South Bend market since 1988. And when Lou Holtz left, there was some years where Notre Dame was irrelevant. And just to be talking about a team that has a chance to play for a national championship, to be in a national championship conversation is really, really fun. And just the way that Notre Dame goes about it, covering a guy like Marcus Freeman, who doesn't give you coach speak and word salads every week. You right. Learn about life. There's things like I want to tell my kids and my grandkids that he said. So yeah, this is amazing.
Yeah. What about you?
And you're lucky to get to meet players and people of the caliber that the Notre Dame players are. I mean, there's incredible stories and there's incredible personalities and people that, you go, okay, when football ends, they're going to have an amazing life. Even a guy like Trevor Rulin, who we ran the 3-part series on, I mean, overcoming that eating disorder and what happened to him and having the courage to share his story and then changing people's lives because he shared his story is just amazing.
Do you have anything you wanted to add?
No, I mean, I think Freeman has just elevated our expectations for the program and, and how, I guess, relevant we are, right? I mean, if we win by 21 this year, we were still sick and we were still calling for Chris Ash's head, right? So I really appreciate what Freeman has done with this program and just the excitement that we have and the buzz. And even, I mean, the national media has really, I think Freeman is so likable that it's actually hasn't been too hard to watch game day and everything, given the good press we've gotten.
Sorry, I was muted. Got it. Continue on reading some super chats. Ethan says, I would like our chances on the road versus Oklahoma's offense and Ole Miss without Kiffin. How long to 16 teams do you think? Man, if they push to 16 because of outrage about 12, I can remember being in high school when I last cared about college basketball and listening to Jay Billis talk about the injustice of certain teams being left out of the field of 68. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, oh, this 20 and 12
Are you allowed to say
Oklahoma
that?
team. Well, what'd I say?
Effing.
Oh, oops. Oh, this 20 and 12 Oklahoma State team not in the field. Like, are you like what are we complaining about? So if they want to go to 16 for some good football reason, sure, but I mean, come on. Like,
Well, that's what Notre Dame's athletic director is pushing for. And I think some of that is because that's what the SEC and that Big Ten want. They want more of their teams in. There may or may not be guarantees of how many teams of those teams get in. I don't know what they're complaining about, because the teams that have to worry are the ACC and the Big 12 getting multiple teams in. So if I were the Big Ten, the SEC, I'd feel pretty good about their chances of getting a bunch of teams in. But I do think it will expand to either 14 or 16. And if Pete Bavach was pushing for 16, then that means there's a lot of support, I think, with other conference commissioners.
and you would think it would be good for Notre Dame, right?
I think so. I think it gives you more at-large spots, unless they all are designated to certain conferences. But even then, I mean, when Notre Dame, when the college football playoff was originally, sorry, coffee.
Yep, you're good.
Okay, here we go. Originally, they talked about making this a 14-team playoff, and Notre Dame was going to be guaranteed in if they were 14 or higher. So conference champions couldn't bump them if they were 14th. I don't know that the 16 team will work that way, but you would think with a Freeman coach team and with the transfer portal and with how Notre Dame is able to play in the world with rev share and NIL, that they would be in that 16 team field darn near every year, if not every year. And with a chance to make a run a lot of those years.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Go Irish. Dropped PAT and missed hold at number 3 versus missed playoff. All right. I mean, yeah. I mean, Texas A&M.
Well,
game
again, I think to your point, to Mike's point, though, when you're 10-2, you put your destiny in somebody else's hands. If you're 11-1 or undefeated, you may get screwed on your seeding, but you're in and playing a home game.
100% agree. Robbie, I haven't heard from you in a minute. Anything you want to add on any of the discussion so far?
No, I think I was just cracking up at you. You guys must be so dang tired. You guys are absolute warriors, by the way. But no, I mean, I couldn't agree more. You know, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but we did not help ourselves losing those games. I mean, again, it was early, and we're lucky that it was early. But I do not want this to go further than 12 teams. I think the excitement and I would say the pressure that these kids have to face week in and week out in all conferences. I think 12 is the number.
I think 12 is perfect. You move to 16. Like, the calendar is so screwed right now in college football, with coaches leaving, signing day, transfer portal. I watched a Joel Klatt clip on the shitter the other day, and Klatt's like, let me solve all of the problems. Push everything to middle of January, like the NFL does, right? You can't do anything, in the NFL really till after. And I'm thinking to myself, Joel, that's a great idea, except for, what a school count? Like, there's still school involved. Like, these kids go to school. Like, you can't do all of this stuff after the January semester starts. So that was the dumbest thing I've seen. So it's I don't know what the fix is for some of this stuff, but
no, but you think of in terms of like Ole Miss, right? I feel for the players. I know Kelly had left Cincinnati for Notre Dame, kind of in a similar type situation, but you would definitely want to avoid stuff like that. I mean, in a sense, right? Like LSU has to find their coach so they can sign kids. What is it? December 4th is signing day or something like that.
Yeah, Wednesday. Yeah.
It's absolute madness in how kind of wild West it is.
Yeah, I don't know what they need to do, but it just seems like they're fitting too much in such a short window. Start the season earlier. I don't know, but something needs to be done. Dorito with the dollar super chat. He says, "Pop-Tart Bowl, here we come." All right, there's your dollar super chat.
Dorito, are you going to change your name to Pop-Tart?
Dorito's actually a buddy of mine, but I don't even like Pop-Tart Bowl. All right, this one, just one Endy gal's a great commenter. She says, Endy failed to prove it deserves to be in college football, a playoff above Miami. Based on what? What? Based on what? Look, again, if you had the mindset that, look, and a lot of people do, Ari Wasserman's one of them, like Miami should be ahead of Notre Dame based on the head-to-head and everything. I respect it. I'm not even going to be like, you're wrong, I'm right. But at this point, what does it matter? The committee is what matters. Our arguments still like, what do we care? It's what the committee says. And I mean, I've said this 10 times now. The committee's drawn their line in the sand on Notre Dame and Miami. They think Notre Dame's the better team. And they're saying, hey, that game was so long ago. These two teams are different. The eye test, all that stuff. So I don't know how you're saying Notre Dame has failed to prove it deserves to be in the CFP above Miami. They're already above Miami. I don't know.
Well, we'll just say thanks for the $10 and
move
it right
the
along.
$10. But if she had said, should Jeremiah Love have gone back into the game, that would have been worth the $10.
There you go.
Just seriously though, just on Endy Gal, I always appreciate your support over the years. Thank you for the 10. One more from A Page. Toma, when you have a bad day, look at your luscious hair, then look at Andrew Luck's bald spot.
I actually thought about that. So that is absolutely hilarious. I saw Andrew Luck's bald spot and I was like, oh, I'm good. I'm okay. We're around the same age. That's why.
Yeah, Andrew looks like 36 going on 52.
Oh, and luscious. I haven't heard that word in a long time. So shout out.
Okay, so Notre Dame's up 42-3. Jeremiah Love is banged up, presumably a rib injury. And Notre Dame trots him back out there. And Eric, listen, has Notre Dame played some starters later into games that they're winning big because they want to, send a statement and all that kind of stuff? Sure. But not when a guy is banged up. I did not personally like that. Freeman talked about it. And my sense in seeing what Freeman said, but before halftime was like, I don't want to put him back out there, but I feel like he's going to demand it. Kind of like that was my read. Like he was out there to break records and get Heisman style points. Are you reading that differently? Eric, I want to hear from you and then Robbie on this. Cause I don't know. I did not like that. If he would have got injured, more so I'm guessing it's just like a bruise and he's going to be okay. But if he would have actually got hurt, that would have been a really bad look.
Well, I think I'm more interested in what Robbie has to say than me, but what I'll say is I think you do have to trust your players. And I do like the way that Marcus Freeman framed the conversation that, he has to think about what's best for the team. We're going to have a long talk about it during halftime. And Jeremiah Love was the one who wanted to go back out there. Now, he wisely ran out of bounds on one of the runs where he normally probably would have spun and stayed in bounds and so forth. I didn't think that was the smartest thing on his part to do. Heisman aside, records aside, I mean, he can break those records in the next postseason game. He's not that far away from the season record. The Heisman Trophy, I mean, whatever you do when it's 42-3 against Stanford isn't going to help your Heisman cause. And I think, actually, in some ways, Jadarian Price and Aeneas Williams playing well helped his cause. And the fact that he's been sharing the ball with Jadarian Price all year, I think was quite a statement. And when people see how good Jadarian Price is of a football player, and that guy could be starting a lot of places. and this is why his numbers aren't greater than they are. It gave me an uneasy feeling is the best way for me to say it. But I'm really curious what Robbie has to say with his luscious hair.
No, hold on, let me wipe it first. No, I think I think that no matter what Love did in this game, I don't think he could really change anybody's mind with how great of a player he is. Obviously, his numbers might go up, but one thing that I do think of a lot is the break in between the last game and the playoff game, and you don't get a lot of live reps with your players. So maybe that was part of the reason for keeping a lot of the starters in, because when we played Alabama, we had, I think it was 42 days off with almost no live action. So I don't want to speak for Freeman at all, but I'm sure style points was a part of it, but also some of these reps are kind of invaluable, especially Stanford didn't seem like too physical of a team, so I think he trusted his guys, and I can appreciate that.
Update from Tyler Horka, who's in Palo Alto, tweeted out Jeremiah Love's x-rays and test came back negative. The Notre Dame running back says he just has bruised ribs, so that is fantastic. Horka also tweeted out, it might be 2:35 a.m. Eastern time, but it's not even midnight in the Pacific time zone, and Notre Dame is celebrating as such. The post-game press conference room is a bit noisy. Mike Elko wouldn't be happy. Leave it to Horka to throw a little troll towards Texas A&M. I'm guessing you guys saw that clip with Elko being upset that
I didn't see the clip, but I saw the tweets about it.
He said something about it not being professional because those guys were celebrating, right?
Yeah.
Well, it was the media kept opening the door.
Yeah.
A lot of people were getting there late, and that would let noise in, and that bothered him.
Yeah, how about the Lane Kiffin getting into it with the On3 Ole Miss guy? I mean, that saga was so much fun. This game.
When was that?
What? Eric, what the hell were you doing yesterday?
He was not looking at it. He was not worried about
turkey leg. No, that was today.
Oh my!
I was watching some football yesterday and working. And what did I miss?
Lane, just find the video. Hold on.
In summary, the Ole Miss reporter,
I was doing charity work yesterday, Mike. Okay.
No, the Ole Miss reporter was trying to make a.
He used
what's the word? He was trying to talk about commitment.
Do we know what the guy's name is?
Because the reporter.
The reporter's intention was
Ben
not
Garrett.
How it should have been read by Lane.
Okay. So the Ole Miss reporter quoted a rap lyric that says you can't turn a hoe into a housewife, hoes don't act right, referring to Lane Kiffin, and Lane Kiffin then goes up to him. So this clip doesn't show it. There's another angle where Lane goes up to him, talks to him, and then goes down the tunnel, and then turns around. And he goes up to him and says, you want to call me a hoe in here, in the locker room? You want to come in here and say that to my face, see how it goes? Oh, I mean.
When did he call him a hoe?
In a podcast earlier in the week, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it was a lot of fun.
Okay, speaking of hoes, one time I was doing I got to tell a story really quick.
Oh, man.
So I'm doing the radio show with Darren Pritchett. You know who Darren is.
Yeah, of course.
And he's talking about Presbyterian, and this high school coach that never punted, he was their new coach, and he goes, yeah, he's the coach of the Blue Hose. I go, their name is the Blue Hose? I thought, I didn't put together that it was Blue Stockings. I thought it was Blue Hose.
Oh God.
I have a
we are dangerous at this.
My brother went to school there in South Carolina, so I'm very familiar with the old Blue Hose.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right, let's continue on a few super chats. Miami lost to 2 4-loss teams.
But and a lot of times on people's resumes, they just want to wipe out those bad losses. Like Texas lost to Florida.
Mm-hmm.
South Florida beat Florida. And actually, I did my top 25 already, and I have South Florida back in. But I figured, you know what? At least they
Hey,
beat
nice.
an SEC team, and they beat a top 25 team in North Texas. They smoked North Texas.
Yeah, listen, I feel like I'm pretty neutral on how if Miami were ranked above Notre Dame, I would not have any issues with it. You can throw all the Sagarin and Massey metrics at me and strength of record, which apparently is a thing now. I've never heard of it, but it's the biggest thing that we not preach. If they were above Notre Dame, I get it. I get it. Both 2 losses.
Well, I think, but
and Miami won, but
I do think with Alabama getting hosed by Florida State. I mean,
speaking of hose, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, getting hosed by Florida State. I mean,
boy, they were lucky they didn't lose to Auburn today.
They're obviously Bama's Bama, but how that hasn't been talked about virtually at all.
Yeah,
at least in my algorithm.
Yeah,
I think when Alabama lost its second game, then the Florida State game came back into play. I think people kind of forgave that and said, you know what, they just were off. They found themselves. And then when they lost the second game, you're like, well, they also lost to Florida State, who everybody else, who Stanford beat. Stanford beat Florida State.
It just seems like it's always something new. And now this thing's coming into play. I wish it was just a pie chart. Like, we value this 35%, this 20%, this 10%, and we can make a formula.
Because there's no
that would be better than what it is right now, Eric. They just make this shit up as they go. It's a mess. I don't like it.
It's very subjective, but that's the nature of college football.
Make it as less subjective as possible.
Impossible.
You can't do that unless you made a whole bunch of 8 to 10 team conferences. Everybody played everybody, and then the conference champion went into the playoff, and then everybody would be playing the same schedule in that conference, and then those conference champions would go into the playoff. That's about the only way you could pull it off. I mean,
I'm just saying for their rankings, I don't know.
Okay, if in recruiting rankings, if you didn't have these national showcases, how do you compare an offensive tackle from Seattle with a wide receiver from?
You are preaching to the choir. I hate national rankings.
Yeah.
I always said that. I think national rankings are stupid. Who cares about where a prospect is ranked compared to a wide receiver versus
a lot of our
I'm
subscribers do.
I don't like national rankings. I like position rankings and the recruit grade. So you're preaching.
Well, Robbie Toma was underranked. That's all I have to say. All those Hawaii kids are. There's not been one Hawaii kid that's come to Notre Dame that's underperformed. Everyone has. Even Manti, as high as he was the number 12 player in Rivals. He still was better than the number 12 player.
Eric, I'm gonna kick you out because you backtalked me, and I'm just kidding, Eric. I'm gonna let you go. You said
of life.
You said 30 minutes, so I'm gonna let you go get to writing. It's pretty early in the morning, so I'm gonna let you go, sir.
Okay, sounds good. I was just looking at the super chat because my name was in it, so you'll have to answer on my behalf.
Well, he does say, Eric, you cracked me up. I mean, it's always a fun time here. So 4 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow, or excuse me, today, turkey leg time.
I even found the turkey leg emoji on my phone. I was really proud of myself because my emoji game is really lame on the phone.
That's key, Eric. You got to fix that.
I do have to fix it. I need to take lessons. I don't know which of my coworkers is good at that, but I'll figure it out. All right, I'm going to bow out. Thank you.
Have a good night.
Justin ND Sniper says BCS is almost identical to what the committee has now. I swear that the whole BCS thing that they do is like, I don't believe it. I think they're altering
just
that.
Helps them. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Bobby Flake. Some people obviously don't see what the committee grades on Garut for Stanford or whoever. Get real, man. This is 12 minutes ago. I don't know what this is in regards to, but Bobby Flake, you go, brother. I believe in you. Hell yeah. Fight that good fight, Bobby. Thank you for the 5. TJ with a 10. I'm gonna scroll up, and I think you just posted another one as well. So TJ, I'll be looking for you in the chat if you have any other comments. But really appreciate the support. TJ says beggars can't be choosers, but give me the 10 seed and the Indiana side of the bracket. We are the second best team in the country right now. Take Ohio State in the championship after they've been tested. I can see both sides of that. I can see, look, you got to play Ohio State whenever. If you're in the 10 game, 10 versus 7, 8, 9, whatever, you're going to have to play them. I think Ohio State's the best team in the country. But, with all my thing about Notre Dame, you can't complain if you get in or out based on you have 2 losses. That's resume talk. But when you talk about football, Notre Dame's playing very, very well, man. Offense, defense, special teams besides the kicking game. So I think that Notre Dame has got a good shot to make it far into this playoff. What do you think, Rob?
No, I think honestly, after watching our game last year against Georgia, that I used to I wouldn't say fear the SEC, but you see that the bar has been risen on our end as well. So I couldn't agree more. I do think we're definitely better than Indiana.
Yeah.
I think majority of the teams kind of in the top 5. I don't really think Oregon's that great. I think Oregon's kind of
Oregon.
It's kind of the normal. It's kind of the normal Oregon, though. I mean,
they were great last year, and then they lose in the Rose Bowl.
They kind of fizzle out, right? So, but yeah, I couldn't agree more. I definitely think that we're pretty damn good, and Ohio State is still pretty good.
Dude, that tee is sick, by the way.
I know it's the old school Adidas.
I like it.
It's the old school. I think this was the one we wore against Maryland, maybe.
Dang.
Pre-game.
Man, that must be very, very old then.
Actually, I gave it to a buddy of mine. I gave it to a buddy of mine, and he couldn't fit it. He was too small, so he gave it back to me.
All right, another hot take here. I'm going to disagree with you guys. Oklahoma falls to 9, Notre Dame 8, Alabama 10. Notre Dame should jump Oklahoma. Completely disagree. What happened this weekend to have Notre Dame should jump Oklahoma because Oklahoma beat LSU by 4 points? It's not a very good LSU team, but they still won a football game, and LSU was a 7-4 team going into that game. It's still LSU. I don't agree.
But if the committee is doing the eye test, you look at the offense of Oklahoma.
Oklahoma just beat Bama, and weren't they on the road?
I know, but I did watch that game as well. But that defense put them in great positions to score some points. So I think they had 3 interceptions.
Game is a game, man. And they still won. They beat Bama. I
hear you. So let's put Florida State in there too.
Florida State is completely different.
I still have a bone to pick with Alabama for the national title game 2012. But anyway.
Mark says, I'm so sick of Booger McFarland. Shut up. You have zero knowledge about the committee. Man, I love everybody just going at it. Let's, I don't really care what Booger McFarland says. I just don't. People really get worked up about the announcers and commentators, man. I just do not care what they have to say. I'll just listen and try to learn something, but I don't really get worked up about what they say. So,
well, I think before Freeman, though, a lot of the ESPN coverage was pretty negative towards Notre Dame. So, I don't mind them now that Freeman's in, and everybody seems to love us.
They do. Well, maybe not Osweiler. Yeah, but whatever.
Oh, yeah, well, whoever.
Billy says, newest Blue and Gold show, Singer After Dark. Last year, before my baby was born, if Notre Dame played in the afternoon, I would, do my post-game show, and then I would go live at 10 o'clock at night. We called it Hoodie Singer. I threw on the Roback hoodie. I would just do a call-in show, and I'd just shoot the shit. And, yeah, I got a baby now. I don't.
That actually sounds fun.
It was fun. But, yeah, I got a 1-year-old man.
I hear you. My son is over there sleeping right now.
Your son's a W, man. Your kids are adorable, by the way, man. I see the Instagram stories. Your kids are awesome.
No, they're getting so much fun.
Just Me says, by the way, YouTube changed the whole thing, so you guys pop up by your @ instead of your name. You guys will have to change that if you don't like how this looks. It's a stupid thing. With the 10, really appreciate the support. Please explain to me how 3 losses don't matter. So Miami can lose to TCU and it isn't factored.
I think
TCU lost.
SMU.
You're talking to SMU. How
But,
the
yeah.
losses don't matter. Look, this is what I'll say to Eric about the pie chart thing. Like, all I want is to know how the committee values these things, because it's like a scale, right? Okay, Miami beat Notre Dame, so it's like, all right, Miami's up here, but then Miami loses, but so they have the same amount of losses, but their losses are better than their losses, but they beat this team. Like, how do you view these kind
Well,
of
Mike, let me ask you this: if we had a loss like we did against NIU last year, this year, there's no way we're in this year.
with two
Yeah,
losses?
I'm saying, yeah, with two
Yeah.
losses, and one of them is NIU. Like,
For sure.
I think that might be the point.
Yeah, I think
just me is making is like, that's a really bad loss. So that part of the scale's got to tip a little bit more.
But SMU and Louisville are more respectable than Northern Illinois.
I couldn't agree more. That's just the example.
But I hear what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, they're definitely factored, and that's why the committee has Notre Dame over Miami.
Mm-hmm.
My point is just, if you're a 2-loss Notre Dame team, you don't control your destiny. The only thing you control is beating up the other opponents. But if you get left if you get left out or you get put in the field, it's just really based on the committee and how they view you and whatever they're valuing on a given week or a given year, because I feel like it changes all of the time. But just me, really appreciate it. $10. Hey, Mark, Eric, and Robbie. It's Mike. It's Mike.
Hey, right on, Mark. On, Mark. I didn't even catch that.
Thanks for all.
I'm like, what the hell is this guy's problem?
Thanks for all your great questions all year long. Yeah, we read that, by the way, about Eric. Yeah, Eric's sense of humor is my favorite. He always cracks me up as well. I think our cumulative record and stats will get us in the playoffs. All you guys rock. Thanks. Jason Amberg, thank you for the excuse me, John. Thank you for the 10.
So petty. Extremely petty.
No, that was just a joke.
No, I know.
That was just a joke. There was a couple of tweets that I wanted to pop up on the screen.
Fix my son's blanket real quick.
Yeah. One of them was this one. This is from Nicole Arbach with NBC, who I respect the hell out of. She said, this might be an unpopular take, but if I'm the ACC and Cal upsets SMU, which they did, I override the tiebreakers and put Miami in the ACC championship game against Virginia, which I guess there's some kind of precedent for, but there's no way it's like this precedent. Like, it could have not have been that. That's crazy. If they would just said, So, look, this is
isn't that a similar situation with Ole Miss and Alabama?
No.
Or no.
She's saying screw the tiebreakers, just put Miami over Duke because Miami is a better team, or like Miami.
I got you.
Yeah, that's what she's saying. I'm like, the move in the goalposts and the obsession with Miami is just freaking ridiculous. Like, I'm really over the national media, but and I think Nicole's great, but that tweet's ridiculous. This is what I think would be awesome, man. Duke beats Virginia. Is the committee going to rank 8-5 Duke with losses to UConn? And I mean, they've got some bad losses, man.
They don't automatically get the bye. They just automatically
get in, right? They don't. It's the 5 highest ranked conference champs. You're going to have SEC, Big 12, Big 10, and then you have to have a group of 5, right? But, dude, they could have 2 group of 5s. That would be awesome if it's James Madison.
SDSU? Oh.
James Madison. San Diego State's had a really good year, but probably not them. James Madison, and then the winner of Tulane, North Texas. Boom.
Wow.
That would be
Whoever's
amazing.
playing them though, that's a free win.
And I think one of my conspiracies is if Duke wins that game, would the committee be more likely to make sure that there's an ACC rep and put Miami in? Now that's more of a conspiracy. I mean, who knows? Who knows? All right, we are going to end the show there, bro. Do you have anything else you want to add about the game?
No,
50 minutes in?
I appreciate being a part of the team. Excuse me. This has definitely been fun, and I definitely look forward to more of these interactions and these late night after dark marks.
Robbie, you've been a lot of fun to add to the show. Just joined in seamlessly, and we all do enjoy doing the shows with you. I can't believe that our biggest post game show of the year was like this one. Like it's freaking
You've been
3
on
in the
fire,
morning.
by the way. You've been on
I
fire.
feel on fire, man.
Yeah.
Just like
Get some
the
sleep,
game
brother.
started, and I looked at my wife, and I was like, my eyes are on fire. She's like, she was like, she thought it was like a blue light thing. Like I've been looking at screens too long today. And I was like, no, it's because I'm tired. So I've just been draining coffee. And some guy earlier said drunk Mike's the best. Yeah, no, I wish that's what I was right now, but nope. Just
shout out Mark Singer.
Shut up, Mark. All right, folks, please hit the thumbs up on this video if you have not done so yet. Subscribe to the Blue Gold YouTube channel tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Turkey leg, Eric Hansen. So we'll talk to you about that if you're not familiar with what that is. Yeah, and the show still got. I know, but I got to record a video with Horka to go on the channel for the morning, and then I'm going to bed. So I really do appreciate you all for watching, and we will catch you next time.